Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of our videos. Please take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy. People who are friends with incels, what is it like?
I'm a male and my boyfriend's stepbrother is a major incel. He's 26, no job, no car, at least 400 pounds, and he takes absolutely no care of himself. All he does is sit in his disgusting room and plays video games and calls girls degrading names for the littlest things. Oh, you took a picture of yourself in a swimsuit? Well, you're a working girl who shows off her body for attention. He's quite literally the textbook definition of an incel. He constantly calls me and my boyfriend gay slurs, saying that we're going to die and telling me to enjoy the poop on my wiener. He tried to fight me once because all gay people are wimps or something. He also calls me a Chad because I'm a bit stocky and drive a sports car. He has a younger sister, about 14 years old, that he is absolutely creepy towards. He was busted sucking on her toothbrush while fumbling himself once, and was caught with her underwear multiple times. I have to pick her up from school because she is very uncomfortable around him. Last year we were supposed to go to Miami Beach for a week. But we had to cut it short because he kept harassing women. Like asking them out and then getting in their face asking why they don't want to go out with him, and calling them stupid witches. He's a gross 400 pounds neckbeard asking out a 110 pounds blonde girl. Of course she's not going to say yes, but go on about how she's a worker. My brother is a self-described incel. He has severe bipolar disorder. He has been contrary since he was a toddler. It doesn't matter what you think, he wants to contradict it. He is smart, can be good-looking, when he keeps up with hygiene, and has convinced a few girls to actually sleep with him. He is on the far left of the political spectrum except that he believes that transgender people remain their biological gender. He is proud of being an internet troll and routinely loses friends. When I visit home he wants to spend long hours arguing about politics or philosophy. Sometimes I will engage with him, but a recent phone conversation turned bad and I had to block him when he wouldn't stop. He is what he is and I don't let it hurt me, but I wish my parents would kick him out. He's 33. My mother avoids engaging him and just lets him rant. At Thanksgiving, after he was repeatedly verbally degrading to my mom, I screamed at him for 40 minutes until he cried. I'm still proud of that. At the end he justified his actions by saying it was all because of Trump. He believes that girls are the source of all problems and it's led to many of us in our friend group to try and correct him. He was a very good guy, very charming and confident, then this girl came and ruined him. He has verbally attacked many female people, including many of our girlfriends and female friends. He has even cursed out women in public, embarrassing us several times. My breaking point was when my girlfriend had tried to whittle a small gun for my birthday as a present. I was overjoyed and I was in tears cause it was so beautiful, but he had to point out every flaw in the gun. Ending it off with woodworking is a man's job, go stick to cooking and cleaning. I was furious and I blocked him on everything and kicked him out. I have only spoken to him once after that, but the path he took was very disturbing and depressing. Honestly, it's not that bad after you get used to it. My friend always says that because he's fat and ugly, he can't get a girl. He says that usually you need to be 6 feet, have curly hair, and be muscular so girls will give you a chance. I've tried to tell him that it's false but he refuses to listen. He even had a girlfriend this year but he believes they left because of his looks. The thing he doesn't think about is him being a little slow. Sorry, I am not sure how to say it without sounding mean. He's 17 and still in 8th grade. He doesn't realize that that is a problem. He has no goals or ambition in life, he barely studies, and mostly just stays home and go on the internet or his PlayStation. I've tried to tell him to start changing his way of living but he refuses, and that's fine by me. Even with his problems he's still a good and funny friend that I care a lot about. My cousin and stepfather, maybe not incel by the definition. I mean they can get laid if push comes to shove, but their ways towards women and life in general is very concerning. First they hit on any women they come in contact with. Most women find it very annoying as they're usually just doing their job. They try to seem the most alpha of any group, mostly family, even going as far to mock or belittle me, my sisters, or anyone they think they can get away with in some desperate attempt to get laid. My stepdad will constantly make everyone around him uncomfortable by staring at women in public, and my cousin played the pity party routine like no other. When I told him that maybe having intercourse and a girlfriend is perhaps not the most important thing in life, and that he should be trying to move out of the basement first. He scoffed at the notion. These guys are alone and will die alone unless they change. Right now the people in their life are only there because they have to. Honestly, same. I'm moving out soon and cutting them off. I don't really need this type of stress yet. They need to realize that both men and women don't want to be near someone who is heavily opinionated and controlling. That if you treat people with basic respect and respect their space, they might end up liking you. Just a thought. It just sucks. It sucks not being able to invite him to a bar because she will go with the same clothes that she has been wearing for days with her dubious precedence stains. It sucks that when you invite him to meetings with friends, he stays quiet without contributing anything to the conversation even if he knows a lot about it. Once my girlfriend arranged a double date with a colleague from her work. It was the cringiest experience of my life. He arrived half an hour late, with his sports clothes all damp. He is severely overweight. His hair was graceful and his excuse was that he was playing on his PC. He brought his Magic the Gathering cards hoping the girl wants to learn how to play. When that didn't work, he started asking questions one after another. As if it were a job interview, he didn't add anything to her answers. But the worst thing is that when she wanted to go because she had to get home because the babysitter was with her baby, he said, "Oh, do you have a baby?" I knew you couldn't be so perfect, followed by a laugh, just his, while my girlfriend covered her face with shame and I prayed that the earth would swallow me. 2 months ago I cut off all contact with him, and recently I found out that his parents returned him to his hometown when they found out that he was in his second year of career. He is 31 years old, now he lives with his parents, without work, without studies and no future. Finally, it sucks that someone you consider your friend has so little care and affection for himself and even so has such high self-esteem as to do what he did to that girl. But the worst thing is that when you try to make him reconsider, he believes that there is nothing wrong. Cut contact with him because I get tired of worrying about him more than himself. I am his friend, not his mother. Used to have one as a best friend. We knew each other since high school, which I remember him having problems talking to girls. As a girl myself, I tried to teach him how, but he just kept making inappropriate jokes, so I eventually gave up. He was basically a tall, lean guy who was really skinny, like literally skin and bone, hardly any adipose tissue at all. Glasses and very large lips. Eventually I got myself a boyfriend, still dating, when he started complaining how I spend a lot of my time with my boyfriend instead of him and saying other weird things. He told me that I was the only girl he ever knew who stuck around, that maybe I was the only woman for him. I had no idea what he meant by that, so I just brushed it off. One day I decided to invite both of them to hang out so that they could get along and try to make things right between them. According to my boyfriend, when I wasn't looking, my ex-best friend was throwing rude and passive-aggressive remarks which quickly made me lose respect for him. Afterwards I asked him what his problem was. He said that he hated being around couples and jealous that I had a partner and not him. I told him that it wasn't cool to try to be between me and my boyfriend. But he just kept calling himself ugly even though I told him that he should just go to the gym but wouldn't listen. I just gave up and said he's going to stay single and a virgin forever with that kind of attitude. He ended up blocking me. I have pity for him. Honestly, I wish him the best. He's a good person and friend, but damn, he sure needs to change. He had by far 4 very unsuccessful relationships, 3 of 1 month and 1 of 2 months. That was the last one. I asked him what went wrong with all of them and he said they were all crazy and didn't understand his needs, and he ignored their needs too. He is not 100% an incel because then we wouldn't be friends. I am a woman. But he resents them by not giving him intercourse, and although he said he is not a virgin anymore and had lots of it, I still suspect he is lying. Sorry, my grammar and punctuation is bad. I used to date one when I was younger. To make things easier for me, I'll call him Joe. Joe was the textbook definition of an incel. He was extremely racist, toxic, homophobic, and sexist. He constantly used the "women don't like me because I'm ugly" when we were dating, even though he knew why girls didn't want him. He would compare me to the girls in my classes, on looks and smarts. He always claimed he was smarter but never did his work, being he didn't understand. The only reason he would say that was because at the beginning of the year I was put in the math class for kids who needed extra help. Even in that class I was one of the top students. He would constantly say that if he wasn't ugly he could get any girl. It didn't help that some of Joe's friends were horrible people. When we got into arguments, it was my fault it happened. Eventually I broke up with him for some time and it came out the other girl that liked him was fake. We got back together but then he became homophobic. Joe would shame me because I was a bisexual. Even when I told him I was an atheist and him telling me to worship God or I would go to hell wasn't going to change my sexuality, he continued to insult me. Funny thing is he also came out as a bisexual after that. Eventually we broke up and I learned the exact definition of incel. I can't share everything else being it would give away who I am.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end. We want to thank you again for giving us a few minutes of your time, and we wish you have a great rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe, it really does help us a lot. That's it from me, roll the outro.